Hey everybody! Thank you so much for joining us here on In Your Fields with the Unc. It's been a minute, Jay. It's been a minute. We haven't been broadcasting this show for the last, I think, 2 weeks or so. But hey, sorry, man. Sorry we couldn't make it. I was down with sickness and so forth. But I'm back. And I'm alive, and we give God all the praise that we can be back in the land of the living.
Come on.
Jay, how you doing, man?
Now, like you said, we back and better than ever before, Unc, man.
Yes.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins, and bless up to the world. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a beautiful Friday morning.
Yeah, it is.
In your fields.
With the young.
Let's go.
With the young. We've got exceptional guests this morning, man. I'm so excited, so thrilled to have Ethan Brooks, and then also his dad, Fabian Brooks, which I know for forever. You know what I'm saying? And so we have them in the studio this morning, and we're going to have an awesome time. We're going to discuss the journey of Ethan Brooks. He's been called up to the Bafana team, and we are so exceptionally proud of him. He's doing us proud. He's doing the country proud and his family proud. And so watch the show. Please share it with your family and friends, and also press that subscribe button so that you can get all our links and what we're gonna do in the coming weeks and so forth. Press that subscribe button and be blessed. I want to welcome Fabian Brooks, the dad. Fabs, how you doing? Just get close to the mic there, man. Yes, that.
Thank you. Good morning.
You can
Pastor.
shift in a bit. Yes. There we go.
It's cool.
Amen.
It's
Come
cool.
on.
Good morning, Pastor. Good morning to the viewers. Good morning, Jay. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Pastor, for inviting us and creating this platform.
Yeah, thank you so much. And then we have, I don't call him by his name. He knows that since small already. I've been calling him by my own name. So I want to introduce you to Ethan Iniesta Brooks. Come on, give it up, Jay.
Let's go.
Ethan, how you been doing, man?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me, like my father said. Yeah, it's been good.
This guy on the field and off the field is two different people. On the field, he's like a terror. You know those pit bulls. He's like that on the field. He's at you all the time. And off the field, he's just this gentle soul, man.
He reserves all his energy for the field.
He reserves all his energy, man. So we're gonna do that, Jay. Before we move on, we've got a
Yes.
segment that we call the warm-up segment. So
Yes,
you can
yes.
now listen to me.
Yeah.
You can ask his dad anything. He's not just a football dad.
Okay.
No, this man is a coach.
Okay.
He's a proper football coach, right? So you can ask these two anything in terms of your segment.
About warming up prior to the
Yeah,
game. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
the young says, we have a segment called the warm up, and
Yes.
this is what's going to be taking place now. So prior to a game, you're getting ready for the big one. What
Yeah.
is your what do you do before a game? Before the stretches and warming up, what do you do? Is there a specific how can I say
Routine.
routine before the game?
Okay, Ethan, you go.
Okay, yeah. For me, it's just psyching myself mentally
Yeah.
for the game, and then we have to go get lunch, pre-match meal. But before the game, I tend to listen to music.
What's the music you listen to?
So I got 3 different songs that I listen to before the game. So
Okay.
First one's Oceans, a gospel song.
Hey,
Your
man.
song.
Yes,
Yeah.
And then I've got Biggie Smalls, Juicy.
Come on.
Yeah, juicy. All right.
How does that switch up take place, bro?
Hey, I don't know, but Juicy just gets me in the mood.
Okay.
Okay.
And then my last one is a rap song by Lil Baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So those top 3 before the game, just relaxes me and then keeps me focused for the game.
Excellent. Fabes, what do you suggest in the warm up? Are we talking warm up, Jay?
Yes, we still in the warm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, from a coach's perspective, obviously there's some admin that needs to take place with regards to team sheets and things like that. But ultimately, it's setting up obviously the warm up session, and then just allowing players to just focusing on what's lying ahead. But there's nothing special, nothing different or ritual kind of thing. It's pretty much just ensuring that, you know what, we are focused, we're ready, and we can take on what lies ahead.
You know what was I gonna ask? You know what was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask the pre-match meal. I know there's a pre-match meal. How significant is that? Or can you eat anything, or is there a specific thing? How significant is that pre-match meal?
I feel like everyone has their own preference when it comes to pre-match meal.
Okay.
And we, you know, different way now our bodies will digest.
Right.
Like for me, if there's meat, potatoes, I mean, it's all our carbohydrates, protein.
Okay.
So I'll tend to have a small portion of each because before the game, I don't want my, you know, stomach to work before the game. So
Right. So and also Ethan, let's be real, because there's nerves also that comes into
Yes.
it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So and your stomach is now a little upset. So how you must, so pre-match meal is how long before?
I think 2 hours before. Yeah.
2 hours
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
Okay, then you sure those guys that have to go if Mother Nature calls,
You go.
they've got time, you know,
Yes.
to sort that out.
Yeah.
They've got time to sort that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, Pastor, from my side, I think
Yeah.
Ethan has graduated. Where I was operating at, we didn't have pre-match meetings. Ethan has really just gone a step ahead.
Yes.
But I must say, I mean, we obviously were introduced at the club where we were involved. We tried to almost prepare the guys
Right.
for that. You know, there was obviously vision to look forward and to look ahead and to give them a sense of what to expect when they get at the professional level. Yeah, but generally for us that was just a roll, a banana or a fruit, basically.
Right.
Nothing heavy, just something light to keep them going. But yeah, I think, as I said, Ethan is now on another level.
That's another level.
That's another level.
It's an international level.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So I want to talk a little about Fabian, because I know that's where all this stems from. Fabian and Melanie has done such an exceptional job in raising their kids and producing this talented young man that we all proud of. So I want to start with Fabian, where you grew up in a nutshell. Fabs, where did you grow up? What was your journey, in terms of your life?
Okay, thank you, Pastor. Well, I'm proud to say I'm original product from El Dorado Park.
Aye, man.
88 Buchanut Crescent to be specific. Went to Mastercard for 2 years, then left, joined the corporate world. And then in 1994, 95, and it's important that I get this right.
Yes.
My wife as well. 94, 95, I met this amazing woman. In fact, they came down for a church conference.
It's always in church, man.
She came down with a mutual friend, and I'll never forget. They came down with at that times we used to use the taxis, Pastor, to
Right.
travel between Joburg and KZN.
Yeah.
So the taxi dropped him, and they came there at around 11, 12 o'clock. There's the knock on the door. I went to open, and the rest is history.
So you caught yourself a Durbanite.
I did. Well, actually, to be specific, it's Peter Maritzburg.
Oh, Pete,
Yeah,
okay.
And I do this because they're very particular.
Yeah, it's Maritzburg, yes.
It's, Maritzburg, Durban is not the same place or same thing.
Right.
They're from the same province, yes. But yeah, so and we dated for a year, long distance. Yeah, I for another show, but I can tell many things, many stories of that year when I had to commute between Joburg and KZN, yeah, missing buses, running after buses, and trying to get back in time for work.
All for love. All for love. So Fabes, basically what happened is you grew up in this family, Christian family.
I did.
And something traumatic happened in your younger years, where you lost both your dad and your elder brother.
That's correct, Pastor.
Yeah, and I think that was traumatic for the whole family.
Indeed, it was.
But strongs to our aunt, man, your mom.
Yes, no.
Who big ups to her, because she reared you guys from that time on. She's a strong woman.
No, she is.
And I want to give a shout out to her, man. We love you so much. We really love you so much. She done some exceptional job. Yourself, Lincoln, and your sis that's passed on now as well.
That's correct.
But we want to thank you, and we want to appreciate all your work, my auntie. God bless you.
Yes, no, and I just want to make you, perhaps on that note, Pastor, mention that she also was just recently diagnosed or supposedly tested and positive for COVID. But you know what? The strong woman that she is, I obviously was a bit apprehensive and anxious.
Yes.
Because when my mother was young, she had a collapsed lung. So, there was this anxiety and fear that took grip of me. But I tell you, every day when I phoned her,
she encourages
me as opposed to me encouraging
she's like
her.
that.
And she's thank God, recovered. She's strong, and she's back to her normal self.
Wow.
And it's like they say, you can't keep a good thing down. And yes, my mom is a phenomenal and amazing woman, and I know there's a lot of people that draw a lot of strength from her. So yes, we just want to thank God for her input. I wouldn't be where I am right now. In fact, I don't think Ethan would be here today if it weren't for her input. And
her prayers, she's a strong prayer warrior.
Amazing.
Strong prayer warrior. And I think those are the things that not I think I know, those are the things that keeps us, going forward and so forth. Look, we're gonna move over to Ethan in a while, but with Fabian's influence, Fabian really, he's a sports person on his own. Fantastic footballer he was, and I'm not even joking. Was a fantastic footballer. In fact, a fantastic sportsman. Whenever I saw him, whether it was volleyball, football, whatever, he excelled in that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, extension 3. We're talking about, we used to call it the blood.
Yeah.
Ne? Met Kuli and Kula and Jomo.
That's correct.
And Taji.
That's right.
And Ali Owen. Shout out to the guys there, man. That's extension 3. Your brother Lincoln. Man, it was good times. But Fabes, you saw that vision. You know what you wanted to create in Ethan. And how did that journey happen?
Pastor, there's something that I would like to, and in fact, I said I must mention this.
Right.
Not forget, because it's important, and I wasn't too sure if Ethan was going to cover it, but
okay.
Obviously there's a question that people say or would ask generally, did you know, did you see, and
right.
We can confidently say yes. It's not arrogance.
Yes.
It's not being overly confident, but I suppose ever since Ethan was born, there was something special.
Mm.
But at the age of 3, it was pretty much confirmed, sealed, and dusted. We received what we would know as a prophetic word. Ethan was at the Sunday school. My
Yeah.
mom went to go and collect him
Yeah.
afterwards, and the teacher was like, "Are you the mom?" And she says,
Mm.
"No, I'm the granny. The parents are on their way."
Mm.
And she, in essence, said, "You know what? As I said, he's 3 at the moment." She says, "I have never ever witnessed something like this." And she goes on to explain to my mother that Joe's deals and works with kids a lot, but Ethan's hand and eye coordination is something that she hasn't witnessed for his age. And she says, this child is going to go on and represent his country.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
And she wasn't specific in terms of sports-wise, because true to Ethan, and you mentioned it as well about myself, any type of sports that he engaged in,
Yes.
he pretty much excelled.
You're right.
We were laughing the other day when the high school, Parktown Boys,
Yes.
the principal called and spoke to him and congratulated him. And
Yeah.
he just pointed out, he says, that was one of the difficult things, because all the sports departments, be it cricket,
Wanted-
swimming, be it table tennis, or whatever the sport may be,
Mm.
everybody wanted a piece of him.
Yes.
And he sometimes had to hide and
Mhm.
duck type of thing to kind of like just, because ultimately he knew what he wanted, which was
Yeah.
obviously the soccer. But yes, so as I said, at the age of 3, that was kind of like affirmed, and all that we needed to do as a family, my wife and I, obviously, was to obviously ensure that we nurture this.
Yes.
And not forget that God has placed this gift and this talent
Mm.
into our hands, and to ensure that we look after it. So yes, we've been blessed in that regard. I often get it and need to guard against it, given the fact that I myself I am an avid sports person,
Mm.
and also had ambitions to play for
Yes.
Bafana Bafana
Yes.
one day.
Yes. Yes.
But ultimately, an injury that I sustained obviously ended it. But I obviously had to guard, and a lot of people used to say to me, "Are you pushing your son because of what you want?"
Mm.
And I had to keep reminding myself
Mm.
and them, no, it's not. It's the
Mhm.
fact that he's got this God-given talent, this God-given ability, there's this prophetic word, and we need to ensure that we see that through.
You were custodians of
Exactly.
that. Custodians of that.
We were at a family function. I think it was probably 2013, 2012.
Mm.
I got up and I stood up and I said to my family, this is what's going to happen. And
Hey.
I'm telling you, when I walked off the stage, your mind, the devil says, ha ha ha.
We'll
Really?
see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And so when Ethan received his first call up on the 5th of June, I was like, wow. And I don't know
Hey.
how many of my family members that are watching this remembers exactly
Yes.
when I made that,
Wow.
proclamation on the day. But yes, God has just been good. And as I said, we've had to, obviously, it hasn't just been easy.
Mm.
For smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ethan will tell you there's a lot of work that went into it. There's a lot of sacrifices. There was a lot of having to choose either or.
Mm.
But my famous saying to him is always, it's a short-term pain for a long-term gain.
Wow.
So you have to give up now, but ultimately look at the long-term rewards that you
Yes.
will receive. And so we've also been fortunate to have good people in our lives, to have been surrounded by good people, that provided good support, good
Yes.
structure.
Yes.
Especially my family, as you mentioned, I grew up in a family that the church is what we know. So there's a lot of pastors, and there's always this. It's real, man. So yes, sometimes we feel like we're in this bubble. But
Mm.
ultimately, what I thank God is that they kept us on the ground, and they, reminded us to ultimately remember the who's the source.
And I think that's important to have the basis.
True.
I'm gonna come back to Fabian, But now I want to go over to the man of the moment, Mr. Ethan Iniesta Brooks. So, Eth, where did this all begin? Where did this all begin? Where was your first football? Just take us through that journey. Your first football club, how you came through. Just in a nutshell.
Okay, my father covered the 3-year-old story.
Yeah. Come closer to the mic for me. And
2 years after that, age of 5,
yeah.
played Monday Meteors.
Mondo Meteors.
Yes,
Okay.
still
In the south of
remember-
Johannesburg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still remember my first game. My father took me. Was in Sporting.
Right.
Yeah, Robert Champs at that side.
Yeah.
And I had this big red shirt on, big shorts, big shin pads. And I was like, okay, really playing the game. And it was, very nerve-wracking because, at the age of 5, you're playing with, other kids, you're not going to get the ball and stuff.
Mm.
But then, the person that I am, wanting to play the sport, went out there, did my thing, and then, moved on to Coach Lyle.
Coach Lyle Bennett.
Yes.
A man that we would want to give a shout out to Coach Lyle Bennett. He's an exceptional coach doing an exceptional job. He's with JBS, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's with JBS.
That's correct.
And we want to give a shout out to him. He's an exceptional
shout
coach.
out.
We'll have
Big
him
shout
on
out.
the
Big
show
shout
one day. I'll contact him and so forth. Thank you so much, Coach. You're doing a brilliant job.
Excellent.
Yes, so continue.
Yes, so that was 2010.
Yeah.
Coach Lyle laid the foundation for me. So
Mhm.
I'll always be grateful for him.
Right.
Yes, and then from 2010, I moved on to Panorama 2019 till 2019,
Right.
where I played there throughout my high school career as well.
Yes.
And then I think just before I matriculated 2018,
Yes.
TS Galaxy was training at the same facilities where Panorama was.
Yeah.
So the coach at the time, Coach Dan Malisela, asked me if I could.
Oh, you know what? That's one of my favorite coaches in the country. Coach Dan, thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And man, you're an exceptional coach. I love your style. I love the way you let the boys play. Thank you, man.
Yes, so he spotted me.
Yeah.
And then he asked if I could come and join. But obviously having the parents that I have, they wanted me to finish school first.
So wait, Ethan. Let me just get this straight, right? Because there's some confusion on this journey, right? Did you play for SuperSport?
At a point, yes.
At a point, because I remember your father actually. Everybody was going to SuperSport at that time.
Yes,
You know all your friends and so
That's
forth
true.
was going, and I always wondered, Fabian, what's wrong with you? These people want us, lady. He said no ways,
Yes, yeah.
and he had his reservations, but now we can see the manifestation of that. You know what I'm saying, Fabes?
No, it is.
What was
Pastor.
significant in that
Look-
decision?
Look, Pastor, and I know that we're not going to go there, but it's
Yeah.
important. And I'd like to really also acknowledge my wife and
Right.
just
For the wisdom.
for the wisdom,
Mm.
because it was important for us ultimately that education
Mhm.
must be able to coexist with the sporting.
Right.
Because currently it's either or. You
Yes,
either
yes.
you either pursue a
You-
sporting career
Yes.
or you go the education route.
Right.
And I'm still a firm believer that the two can actually coexist and they
Mhm.
can actually complement each other. We haven't yet quite, how can I say, figured it out or got the better of
Mhm.
it, but it's better. It's better than it used to be.
Right.
Ultimately, as I said, for us, education was important.
Yeah.
So that was the key thing. And my experience, in particular with SuperSport, for example,
Mhm.
was that it was said, but the experience, what was happening on the ground was completely different.
Okay.
So I know Ethan, when he went for his first session and he came back, he was like, "Oh, these boys are saying that it's football only." In fact,
Mm.
maybe the institution itself had good intentions, but
Yes.
the boys at the time, or the boys there, were more focused on making it on the field as opposed to in the classroom or with their books.
Right.
And for me, it was important that we needed to have an environment that would speak to
Both.
what
Yes.
we wanted as
Yes.
parents
Yes.
for Ethan. There's another story besides the SuperSport story. We had Sundowns Coach Trot Maloto come.
Fabes, I remember that. I remember that.
Yes, Coach Mandla and Coach Trot Maloto, we had them at the house.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't just one meeting. It was a couple of meetings. In fact, Coach Trot came ultimately because they felt that he could be the deal breaker.
Yeah.
But again, we stood firm.
Now on that, hold it there. Sundowns comes. Coach Trot is interested. Sundowns. I'm not talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
Sundowns.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Patrice Mutsepe. I mean those. How did you feel when your dad said, "Nah, we're gonna let this one go"? Now you must know, SuperSport was also there. He also said, "How do you feel as a young man in your father's house? How did you feel? Give us honest.
Okay, honestly, Sundowns is, I've always supported Sundowns.
Right.
Since, can't even remember when, but like you said, when Throat came, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, now we're going to Sundowns.
Yeah,
So for me, it was exciting to see that
Yes.
Sundowns is coming because, like I said, I obviously support the team.
yes,
But when they said we're going to have to go check the school out first and
Yeah.
see the facilities, I was like, okay, we can go do that. I have no problem. But when I got there, I could see the level at which the school was with the school I was at was two different things.
I hear you. Okay,
So I also made a decision that day to say, okay, I'd rather stay at Parktown than go to a school where it's not really gonna, do the same thing that Parktown's doing. giving me.
okay,
So yes, it was a great opportunity that I got to meet Coach Trot,
yes.
Coach Mandla. But at the same time, I told myself, patience. They can always come again.
So Ethan, you didn't
Yeah.
feel disappointed for the decision that your parents were saying, listen, here's the thing.
No, I feel like parents always have your best interest.
Yeah.
You see
Come on.
that's important because some boys will feel or ladies will feel, you know what, I've got the talent.
Yeah.
You know, and this is my break, but you keeping me now in the shell. You know what I'm saying? But it's important then, as you say, to really trust your parents
Yes.
because they've got your interest. So you were okay with their decision.
Yeah, no, I was okay because look at it now.
Yeah.
Against Oliver,
But at the time, they
And
were
at
like,
what age was that?
18. Yeah,
No.
17,
No, but the Sundowns thing was about 16.
16,
Around
yes.
16.
You're right, yes. Yes.
16. And then, 16,
Yes,
time we were still
my bro.
playing MDC.
Yeah.
Future Champs. So, I was playing Future Champs at Panorama.
Oh.
So-
And Sundowns comes. It's like, oh. Faves, what was that? Look, there must have been synergy between yourself and your wife for that decision
No, there was.
to happen.
There was.
And you sat Ethan down.
We are blessed, Pastor. We really are. I've got amazing kids, and this is
Right.
the other thing I want to obviously also say. I've got Ethan. I've got two girls, Alexandra and Chloe.
Yes.
And again, blessed. My daughter Alexandra is the first team netball captain at Parktown Girls.
Wow.
And obviously, because of that, she also is obviously ultimately responsible for netball across the school. So she has to assist the director in sports and ensure
Sure.
that netball at the school is obviously achieved. And then
Awesome.
we've got Chloe, who's also into netball, hockey. And just quickly, when she played soccer at Covenant, people were like, wow, hey, we've got a future star. But mom has always been cautious not to push.
Yes, yes, they
especially
must make
girls,
up their
they
minds.
must make up their own mind.
Yes.
But we're truly blessed, as I said, to have kids like this, whereby we can sit them down
Yes.
and we can discuss with them. So yes, the wife and I, Mel and I, will obviously sit and say, look, what is it, where, how. One thing I don't take for granted is that I pray. I
Yes.
pray and I ask and I God lead us, guide us
Yes.
to obviously make the right decision. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes I don't get the answer before
Yeah.
we sit down and discuss.
Yeah.
Or you're not quite sure that, this is
This is the right thing, yeah.
But as I said, I'm blessed. Ethan, we sit him down, we explain to him, we give him ultimately we say to him, here are the options, or here's the things to consider. We think you should follow this.
And these are our
given the
reasons. Yes.
Correct. And then we take it from there. But ultimately, I'm blessed, as I said, because I didn't have a son or kids for that matter who want to, no. It's our way or the highway.
Rebel.
kind of thing.
Rebel.
No,
But it's also the way you bring your kids up, right?
I suppose.
And the influences.
Correct.
Ethan, Sundown's thing falls through. Where were you at? You were still at Panorama.
Yes.
Okay, and then from there?
2019, like I said, so that was my trick year.
Yeah.
So in that year, it was difficult because now you had to choose between school and soccer.
And football,
So
okay.
I had to put soccer on hold for a year and then focus on school.
Yeah.
So once I matriculated 2019, the following year, I went and I signed for TS.
TS Galaxy.
Yes, and it
So
was
where did they scout you, Ethan?
At the point, I was, like I said, playing for Panorama.
Yes.
So there was Engine Cup
Yeah.
that we had annually. So there was an agent that's part of TS Galaxy, is now at QTS. She's
Okay.
my agent right now.
Right.
She came down to come and watch. And
Mhm.
then from there, she's like, okay, no, we need to do this now. Because everyone's there, Sundowns, Pirates, all the big clubs are there.
Yeah.
And now it's my final year in matric, so I'm
Mm.
done. So now she's like, okay, now we have to seal the deal.
Right.
So she, spoke to me. We had a meeting, and then I joined TS.
So what attracted you to TS?
Coach Dan,
Coach Dan.
his style. of
But
play.
remember now, at that point, they were not PSL.
No, they were in the NFD.
They were in the-
Glad Africa.
They were in the Glad African, right? So for you, you felt, nah, this is the right club.
Yes, because like I said, Coach Dan,
Yes.
his style of play. So for me, I like to keep the ball, and that's his style of play.
Yes.
And he's a coach that wants you to be comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
So that's very important for me as a player, as
Right.
my position as well. So
Yes.
Coach Dan, he caught my eye. And
Yeah.
wanted me. So that's why I went and joined TS Galaxy.
Wow. Okay, now, you signing your first professional contract at the age of
19.
19.
Yes.
Yeah. So he signed his first professional contract at the age of 19, you signed, right?
Yes.
You go on. I remember, I was ecstatic, man, when I saw the news, this man. And then I watch a game of TX Galaxy, and there Coach Dan makes you play.
And that's
So,
the
so
same,
how was that feeling, the first game you played?
To be honest, because I came from Kosafa, under 20.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were selected for
The
under 20s,
Yes.
national team.
Yes.
Okay.
So went down to PE
Yeah.
in November, end of November, beginning of December.
Mm-hmm.
Played the tournament. Unlucky to actually go through all the way.
Right.
Came back, and the chairman phoned me.
The chairman of?
TS Galaxy.
Yes, okay.
So I was like, okay, why is he phoning me?
Mm.
So I answered. He's like, listen, Coach Dan would like you to come into camp.
Ah.
And that was the same,
ah.
I think, the week I just got back from PE.
Yes.
And he was like, no, you need to come back. Coach Dan would like you to come to camp. So I
Mm.
was like, okay. And that weekend we played in Sundowns.
Yo. Okay.
The very same Sundowns, Pastor. The very same Sundowns.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, no, I'm really going into camp. We playing Sundowns.
Mm.
Got there,
What is this now? Nedbank Cup? What
No,
is
it's
it?
league.
League.
PSL is,
But now, were they?
we just,
You just went. TS Galaxy just went up to
Yes,
PSL.
That's correct.
Yes. So they won. No, they
got
bought status.
That's
status,
correct.
Yes, I remember. They bought status.
Yes.
So they went to. But you didn't know these
No.
people are gonna go to
No.
PSL.
No,
I
no,
had no
not at all.
idea.
Yes, see, Ethan, the Lord's got
Yes,
your
that's
ways.
the-
Okay, so they call you up. You're gonna play Sundowns,
Yes.
right?
Match day game.
Mm.
No, game started, so now you have your likes of Timbers one.
Did you start?
I came off the bench.
Okay.
So now, sitting there, having to watch these guys. Yeah. So, last 5 minutes, Coach Dan called me, like, okay, you're going on.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I got to make my debut with Letono Nyane.
Ah,
So, like,
man,
one of the
what a
biggest
mentor.
legends. Yeah.
Mm.
So, I was like, okay, you're going on. got onto the field, touched the ball, it's the best feeling ever to actually be playing with all these
Yeah.
guys.
Yes.
Getting to see them on TV. Now you're playing alongside them,
Wow.
against them. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Yes,
I can feel the energy.
you
in
can
the
feel
studio.
it. You know what? I remember that game so well. Where when I looked at it, I said, "This boy is gonna take like a fish takes to water. He's gonna do it." He was comfortable on the ball, did what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because the nerves, I'm sure, Ethan.
Yeah.
The nerves were like, but you don't show nerves like now. It's like he's just like, But I'm sure inside it's bubbling, eh?
I mean, it's like I think every athlete goes through it.
Right,
So
right,
whether you're starting, not starting, I mean, the moment you step onto the pitch, you get butterflies.
right.
But for me, I know once, like, I start, once the whistle goes, those butterflies are gone.
Right.
Because now it's time to play.
It's now time to work.
Yes, but like I said, the nerves are there. Once the game's on, it's on. There's no more nerves.
Sure. So you get into the TX Galaxy setup.
Yes.
Did you have any of the players mentor you, show you the ropes and so forth?
There's quite a few now that
Okay.
I'm currently playing with that were in the Glad Africa that are with me still in the,
Okay.
in the team. And there's quite a few that have helped me,
Okay.
progress from there to where I am now. And I'll be grateful, always grateful for those guys. And then, like I said, I got to meet Yeye.
Yes.
So when I got to meet him, I went straight to him, spoke to him because my mother always used to say, find someone no, not used to what she said now.
Yeah.
Go to someone, speak to them, ask them to help you. Went to him, not always, but I would watch
Yes.
training. Okay, this is what he does. And, something like that will always help a footballer. I mean, someone that's older than you,
Yes.
even the same age, but just from watching, going, asking questions, plays a big role.
So you say you must be apt to learn as well,
Yes.
and have the right attitude when
Yes.
when you come into that set, because they've been there, and they can share that experience.
Yeah.
So the first game you started, can you remember against who it was?
Supersport United.
Hey man. So you started against Supersport,
Yes.
and how do you feel? How did you do in that game?
I did pretty well. Considering that I only went off the 70th minute.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So, and I mean, for me, it was like, I'm getting to start. Okay, all you need to do is do the simple things.
Right.
Yeah.
And I felt like I did that, and the coach was happy with my performance that day.
Bro, you sentiment right. Has that always been
Yes.
your position
I mean,
from
same
5
team,
years
right?
old with the big red
Yeah.
T-shirt and
I would
shorts?
say so. And, okay, I think I came from the back, from the back to the middle. And then I tried right, left, but middle's always been my preference.
That's been your preference, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can play a 8 role,
8,
you can play a
6,
6,
10.
you can play 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think when he was much smaller.
Yeah.
And the teams probably this is what they enjoyed in leverage because Ethan was literally all over.
Yeah, I know that's
Still
man.
today.
It's still today. It's still today.
So whether it be in the back or the front or in the midfield,
Yeah.
but he was that kind of player. As he says, he likes to be on the ball.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of his advantage, or the kind of player that he is.
From watching him, Fabes, I think what stands out for me about him, Ethan's good on the ball, but if he doesn't have the ball,
The runs
He-
he makes.
the runs he makes, and also when he's in defense, he looks for that ball. He got the other engine in him, and because he doesn't get tired. This guy, he's there. He's lastig. You know what I'm saying? And so that's I think the coaches love that. Ithi, I want to, because there's a lot of footballers out there watching, and they're learning from this whole experience. You get into TS Galaxy. Coach Dan loves you. He lets you start. You know what I'm saying? Brings you on. Coach Dan leaves TS Galaxy, right? New coach comes in, right? Now, you didn't get a lot of game time,
Yes.
right? From there on.
Yeah.
What do you go through during that time?
Yeah, like I said.
Because look, you now excited.
Yeah.
Because hey, the coach likes me. I'm now starting. I'm coming on. Now all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4 games.
It was more than 4, I think.
Now I'm saying now in that period. So how do you deal with that?
Mental strength is important.
Right.
Yeah, I would say mental strength is very important as a soccer player because going from, I started against Supersport and
Yeah.
Baroka,
Yeah.
2 games in a row. And then, like you said, the new coach came in and he has his, own
His
thing that he wants
philosophy.
to do, yes.
Yeah.
Own players that he wants to put in at the time. So for me, it's like going to training, working hard, putting in that extra, hard work than everyone else at training, but at the same time not getting to play it's very demotivating.
Right.
But like I said, mental strength is very important. Going through that alone, basically, because now you're going to training alone. You have to put in hard work alone.
Yes.
It's a lot, but you have to stay ready mentally, physically, because anything can happen.
Were you despondent?
At the time, I was, yeah.
Nah. Questioning. What am I doing wrong?
There's even a point where I went to my father.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man, Daddy, I don't know. I don't want to play anymore. Literally.
Amen.
And I was like, no. And then he's like, no, it's fine. Keep going. Everything's going to be okay. And since he said that to me, I've given my all, and now I'm played like last 12 games. Got to start all of them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So as the parent, you sitting there, your son is gifted.
Wow. Yes.
Your son is capable. He's proven that.
Correct.
Now he's not featuring. How do you, as a parent, encourage a boy like, because you must also feel disappointed?
No, for sure, Pastor.
Yes.
I was. But it was important that I kind of like not show that disappointment in his
Presence. Yeah.
I needed to keep him focused. I needed to keep him positive.
Yes.
So we reinforced,
Yeah.
as a family, or my wife and I, to say, listen, you continue doing what you know you're good at, and you keep working hard. You just stay focused. It's going to come.
Yeah.
We believe, and as I said, we keep on going back to God wouldn't make this promise, or God wouldn't.
Yes.
If there wasn't bigger things in plan, and up until today, I can't tell you. It really, apart from praying,
Yeah.
that change that came about, it's all God, honestly.
Yeah.
And even Ethan, he can tell you, because at one stage I said to him, okay, maybe perhaps what is needed is for you to go and have a chat, sit down with the coach, have this honest,
Chat.
courageous
Yeah.
discussion with him as to understand what more. But that never really happened. There was
Okay.
just this change, and he hasn't looked back since. And after the first game that he started, I said to him, now you don't relax. You continue, because that's the other reality in this space, is that you can never slack.
Yeah.
There's always
Yeah.
somebody that's willing or ready to take your space.
Yes.
So you need to be working at your craft continuously, keep at it, and show. And like he says, what I like about, he said, staying ready or being ready. Even this most recent call up, he works. And this is what I say to people. They see him there in the morning when he's at training, but when he comes home, nobody sees the work that he puts
In afterwards. Yeah.
And shout out to him. I don't have to stand behind him. I don't have
Force
to
him.
remind him. I don't have to. Yes, there were days then when he was much younger, but
Yeah.
right now, it's like I'm so proud of him, and look up to him, because it actually motivates me at times too, in my own personal life, to say, you know what,
Yeah.
this is the kind of discipline, this is the kind of effort that one is to put in if you want to see a result and eat the fruit of that result.
Awesome. Jay, do we have comments there? Questions?
We got
Yes.
a whole lot of comments here, and
Okay.
again, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in and just for going through this journey.
Yes.
Once again, congratulations, Ethan. You inspire us.
Yes, he
big
does.
time.
He does.
Big time. So we have with this Kanya Mzansi Football Academy. We are proud of you, Coach Brooks, and your son. Your son is our hope as a country.
Oh,
Wow, that's
Awesome.
amazing. We have
Awesome.
Lyndon Peterson saying, so good seeing you, Fabes. Big ups, brother.
Yeah. Sing it for us, Lynn.
Come
Sing
on.
it for us, bro.
Brandon saying, well done. We have Mary. So we so proud of you, Ethan. There's just a lot of love. Nate's World. Congrats, Ethan. Well done. Auntie Mel's and Uncle Fabian. Love from New Zealand. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it. That's my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law.
Excellent.
They live there now.
Awesome. Shout out to you guys. I don't know what time you had night there. You before us.
Yes, they
Yeah.
live in the house there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bunch of more comments here. We have a question actually from Sarita Miles saying, good morning, fam. I'd like to know, and maybe we can get into this now a little bit later, what is the highlights of Ethan's career? What has that been? And also Coach Fabian's future ambitions for his son.
Okay, we'll get to that. We won't skip that. I just want to say now, here look, I think it's Coach Owen Dagama, am I right?
Yeah.
Coach Owen, you must understand from a coach's perspective, a new coach comes in, the pressure to get points and so forth.
Yes.
So he'll go with what he knows.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And give it a little time to check out the new players
Correct.
that he doesn't know, you know. So you also have to give him that leverage.
For sure.
And we want to say big ups to Coach Owen for also seeing the potential in
Yes.
Ethan and then
No, for
eventually,
sure.
you know, calling him up. We want to say thank you so much, Coach. We really
Thank you,
appreciate you for that. So Coach Owen brings you in. You start the last 12 games
Yes.
you played.
Yes.
Hey, Ethan. Excellent boy. Excellent. So here's now one of the highlights, right? One of the highlights. Did you expect the call up to Bafana? Look now, let me just give you a backdrop. The under 23 team was called up.
That's
Was
correct.
called. They were named.
Yes.
The Olympic team, and I don't know what other tournaments they played. So that team is called up. So now this man is under 23, right?
Yes.
I'm sure he feels like, yes, there's my chance. What happened in that situation, Ethan?
I wrote down goals.
Right.
And at the beginning of the year, I told myself I want to play a certain amount of games.
Yes.
I ticked that one off.
Okay.
I said I want to make my national debut.
Yes.
I made under 20, tick that off. And
Yes.
now my next one was the under 23
Right.
because I knew this year they were going to Tokyo.
Yes, to Olympics.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to push to get into that team.
Right.
So they got the friendly against Saudi Arabia. I
Mhm.
didn't get the call up, so I was like, okay. it's
You
fine.
didn't get the call up. Okay.
Keep going. Then this one came up against Egypt.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, maybe they'll call me for
They'll
this
see me at least. Yeah.
But then we played Kaiser Chiefs the last game. Our last game. of the
TS.
season. Yes.
Yeah.
And we were on our way back to Gauteng from Nelspruit.
Right.
And then I got a message from my team manager. And
Mhm.
she's like, you've been called up for the national senior team.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man, you're joking.
I think that deserves a round of applause here in the studio.
Ooh, man.
And the boy that was sitting next to me is a year older than me.
Yeah.
You know. So I gave him my phone and I was like, please see if this is
Just check.
actually
Just check if
Am
this
I
is
seeing
legit.
things?
yeah, so I was like, no, man, it's really happening. I phoned my father, but the bus was so noisy because I mean it was our last game. And we
Yeah,
went
yeah,
back
yeah.
to- And I just remember crying on the bus
Ethan.
because I mean, like I said, going from watching these guys playing on TV to now actually being called up to be a part of the senior national team has always been a dream. And yeah, just remember crying on the bus, and I was like, what's going on? What's going on? I can't hear you. I was like, hey, you know what? I'll just speak to you and I'll get home. And yeah.
So your father didn't know?
Well, he says he knew, but then I just phoned to be like, listen, I got the call up. And then I just remember my mother also screaming in the background, woo! Apparently she was sleeping. So I was like, yeah, no, it's happening. And then,
Wow.
yeah, that's one of the highlights this year.
Hey, bro.
Sure. How was that feeling, Fabes?
So-
I mean, I wish I had Mel now here in the studio.
No, Pastor. So obviously, you know, time is against us. But something that he didn't cover is that immediately after his game,
Yeah.
he
This is now
messaged me-
against Chiefs.
Against
Yes,
Chiefs,
Right.
he messages me. Now
What was the result of that game?
We lost 1-0.
1-0.
Hey, man, how can you
And
lose
it was
against
it was a
Chiefs?
crucial game.
Yeah, lose
Because
against Chiefs. No man, Ethan.
that
Okay,
determined
but
the
anyway.
top 8. Yeah, but
Right.
obviously he's disappointed,
Yeah,
and his disappointment stems from the fact, like I'm saying, all that Ethan wants to do is play.
right,
The disappointment stems from the fact that he's taken off,
right.
and he felt that there was so much he could have done, contributed to the game.
Yeah,
Being who I am, positive spin on it,
yes.
and he then also mentions now they're going for some dinner and whatever. And I said to him, you know what? Forget about the game.
Yeah, just enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Focus on the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we carried on watching the television. And I remember falling off to sleep and the phone beeping. Didn't bother. The second beep, I picked the phone up and I looked. And as he says, it's all happened simultaneously. The call comes through, so I didn't get a chance to completely read this
Right.
or look at it. And as he says, it's noisy and I can't hear what he's saying.
Mm.
Put the phone down, go back to the phone, open it. I just saw invitation, right? And my first reaction was like under 23,
Right.
because that was
Right. Right.
The mom was also lying on the couch sleeping,
Mm.
and I looked again. I said, "No, men's senior team."
Team. Huh?
What?
Mm.
Hey, man.
My wife jumped up, like,
Mm.
wow, and it's like jumping, and there's all excitement and joy in the room, and it's like okay. And I read it twice, and similar to him, I also replied to the message to say, is this for real, genuine kind of thing?
Yeah.
She says yes, no, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yes. I'm sure that was, Jay, can you feel that emotion, man? I mean, bro, you skip
bro.
under 23 straight into the national team.
And obviously the fact that you wrote down the national
Yes.
team under 23, that
Yes.
you wanted that to take place, but how God actually
Yo.
worked through that and said, you know what, I have a plan, I have a better plan for you,
Yo.
and bypass that. That's all glory to God, bro.
All glory to God. Man, that's great for your hard work. You know what? I know. The Lord always looks at the motive of the heart, right?
Very true.
Always the motive of that. So, Ethan, you get the call up. You get into camp. And I think you guys were coached by Elman Mkalele, ne? Coach Elman.
Yes.
Midnight Express. You remember him, Fapes?
Yes, I
From
do.
his playing days, ne?
Tell him, Ethan, you must go watch
Hey,
his games.
you must go watch his games. That man was fire, I'm telling you. But anyway, so the coach is there. you playing under this coach.
Yes.
So how was camp for you?
I don't know how to describe that,
Right.
because walking into the hotel, it's my first time actually walking into that setup. Get there, check in, turn around, here's a player from Sundance,
Eh.
Brooks. And I'm like, okay, get to the elevator, go to my room, get the clothing, change, and it's just, everything's so professional. And
Yeah.
from the time you check in, change, dinner, snack, medicals, everything.
This is
It's
now
just
on another level. This.
another level. And then, go to training. And I've been with Coach Alman
Yeah.
with under 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, it's
So he knows you.
Yes.
Yes.
so got to experience the training sessions with these guys, and I keep telling my friends, father, sister, it's like you overseas boss, the ball
Hey.
comfortable, and I think that was another highlight, getting to train with these guys from
Right.
different clubs
Mm.
and see and feel how it is. So yeah, it was exciting.
Wow. And now listen here. Just to cap everything, Ethan gets a call up to Bafana. So now you must know how many players get called up?
20 around, I think, yeah.
23 or so, ne?
Yes.
Okay. Then match day. I know it's normally 18, but
Yes.
now with COVID, I'm now not sure.
I think it's the same.
It's the same,
Yeah.
still 18. Okay. So 18 players for match day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you just excited to be in the match day squad. But
See
now
where
what
you're going.
happens?
Yeah.
You start.
Facts.
Big
facts.
He gets called up.
Because you're excited to be there.
You were
Yes.
just
Yeah.
excited for the experience, but now you get called up. Ethan, explain that. Just give us a rundown of that.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting the start.
Right.
To be in the starting lineup because I mean, there's guys that's playing for Pirates,
Yeah,
Chiefs.
yeah,
So for me, it was like, okay, they're gonna start before me.
yes,
And then the day before we went to go play, one of the guys got hurt. Well, his knee was sore.
right.
So now I'm like, okay, you're gonna start.
Mm.
And now the coach called me one side. He's like, listen, yeah, this is your opportunity. Go out there, grab this opportunity. It only comes once. And now for me, it's like, I go. So I was like, okay, got on the bus, got to the stadium. Just before we got to the stadium, got my parents, cousins, sisters outside.
Hey, that's so exciting, man.
And then got there.
Did your mother follow the bus? Your mother.
They got there before the bus.
Mel, you are a superstar, man.
Listen, Pastor, I must say, and I said I must actually, I don't think there's a bigger, in fact, number one and biggest fan is Melanie Brooks.
Oh no, Mel.
she's-
Mel, you know what? I get all my information from Mel.
Yeah.
I know many of us do, you know, and we thank you for that, Mel, because you're keeping us up to date and we're just celebrating with your family, man. It's just awesome. So you start that game.
Yes.
Who did you play?
Uganda.
Uganda.
Yes.
Ethan, I just want to say, if you haven't watched that game, go watch that game. You were exceptional, boy.
Thank you.
Exceptional.
you.
I watched that whole game. I just think you were great. You played well. You really played well. And so that's one of the big highlights. And now, last week, is it last week or this week? Tuesday. What happened Tuesday?
Another call up.
Another caller.
Yes.
Wow, for the senior team.
Senior team.
Hey, you know what? Ne? Yes, I'm so excited here. But anyway, if I had vuvuzela, I would have been blowing that
I
vuvuzela.
don't think they make those anymore.
Yeah, so Ethan, I know we out of time now and so forth, but thank you for joining us, guys, and so forth. I just want to ask you if you should give. There's a lot of youngsters out there that's you know we a football loving country, that is aspiring to play for their national team, and also to make the country proud and so forth. What would you say? What is if you should think of three things quickly that you would say for a young guy out there that they must consider? Just three things that you think is very important from your side.
God, family, football.
God, family, food, in that order.
Yes.
Okay.
God, keep God in the center of anything that you do.
Right.
Family as well. You know, family is very important.
Yes.
Make sure that they support and never take that for granted.
Okay.
And then football, give your all, do your all. I mean, like my father said, there's always someone behind you that wants to take your position.
Yes.
So for those who are watching and listening, you know, put those three first. And then, you know, I always say, there's a quote that I heard from, what's this guy's name? The basketball player, Kobe Bryant.
Okay, yes.
He says he heard it from his English teacher. Rest at the end and never in the middle.
Rest at the end
And
and never in the middle.
And I live by that. Whether I train, play, anything that I do.
Wow.
So keep that close and it should go for.
Wow. I think also for many guys out there, and this is a typical story of someone that knows he can since the age of 5. Someone that knows his capabilities and so forth. And at this age where time just gets compressed, Fabes.
Yes, Pastor.
You know what I'm saying? All the years of waiting, all the years of laboring, and it gets compressed. Time and chance comes to everyone.
It's true.
But it comes on different occasions.
Correct.
You just have to be patient, and when your time comes, you take that, because
Make sure you step in.
God can compress time. That you can jump. You can jump under 23 and get to Bafana. You know what I'm saying? To a senior team. And I think for guys out there, your hard work is paying off. The chance is gonna come.
True.
And you just have to take it. Fabes, if you should give some pointers to people out there quickly.
Well, parents never take for granted what it means for your kids, or
Right.
to have, for them to have you on the side of the field, and it's not just soccer.
Yeah.
I'm talking holistically.
Yes.
They want that. Even the ones that tend to rebel or who says, no, I don't need you, I don't want you to walk me to the classroom or whatever. Trust me, I've had many boys come to me and say to me, Uncle Fabian, the one thing we admire about you is that you're always there,
Wow.
always on the side of the field, or you're always there to support Ethan, take him, drop him, just encouraging and supporting him. So parents, let's not neglect our God-given responsibility to look after, to nurture, to take care of this precious commodity that He has entrusted to us. Also, as Ethan said, obviously God is important, you know, and I try and make it as practical as possible, you know, so everything we do, everything we are, centers and exists because of Him.
Yes.
And then just keep at it. There's going to be challenges for sure. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy, but don't give up. Pursue, push through, and ultimately, what you put in is what you will get out. And so, thank you, Pastor. Thank you to everybody here. If I just may, please, Pastor,
Yes.
just give me 1 minute. I want to, just because it's important. I think Ethan mentioned Jabez and Lau.
Yes. Yes.
The foundation, it was said, and I'm really truly appreciative of that. Coach Lyle, if you're watching,
Yeah.
then obviously that foundation was set. Panorama Football Club, I think
Yes.
that's where he was allowed to develop and grow. And then alongside that is the school, Parktown Boys.
Wow.
There's a lot of input that happened off the field.
Yes.
The character building, the discipline that was
Yes.
instilled and put in. And so a shout out to them. And then obviously, it's not a school that is well known for football. But Coach Tolani, Coach X, as we know him,
Yes.
who I still believe, I don't think it's ever happened, maybe now recently, but Ethan started playing first team since grade 9. And every year since 2016 to 2019, we went to Bloemfontein there's a big tournament there, annual tournament at the Grey College. So Ethan's been part of that. And thank you to the visionary of the coach and his technical staff,
Wow.
because that last year, 2019, the only thing that we needed was for them to go through to the finals and win it. They lost against the host, which is Grey, but Ethan ended up being player of the tournament, midfielder of the tournament.
Wow.
And so, you know, those are the kind of things that
It builds your
kinda like-
confidence,
it does,
and
it does.
yeah.
So thank you, Coach X. Thank you to the Parktown Boys family, Panorama Football, JBS Football Club. We really appreciated of your contribution and your input into this young man's life.
Beautiful. Jay, you got some closing remarks?
I just need to say the energy and the presence in the studio this morning was
Wow.
absolutely insane. And again, thank you so much to everyone for the questions, the comments. Apology if we couldn't get to all of them.
Yeah.
We will have him back soon, definitely.
Yeah.
And to Ethan, thank you so much, broski. I just pray God's blessing upon
Amen.
your life.
Yeah.
I don't think you realize how big you are and significant you are. You are
Yeah.
representing the country.
Yes.
You are representing your people, and I just pray, like I mentioned, God's blessing upon your life. You'll go from strength to strength,
Amen.
victory to victory, and glory
you
to
so much.
glory.
Amen.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I want to thank Fabian, and I want to thank Ethan. The reason why I brought them both, when I phoned him, he said, you want to interview Ethan? I said, I want to interview Ethan and Fabian, because to show you the significance of a parent and how we should steer our children. And I think exceptional example, Fabian, you and Mel, big ups to you guys.
Thank you,
And may
Pastor.
the Lord continue to bless you
Amen.
with all your children.
Amen.
Ethan, to you, I want to say, may not even the sky be the limit. May you excel in everything that you do.
Yes.
We're praying for you. We're rooting
Amen.
for you. We're
do.
proud of you. And we're ecstatic every time we see you on the field. We're there supporting you all the way. And thank you for everybody out there.
Yeah.
All our friends, our family,
Yes.
the Brooks family, everybody out there that's supporting us and supporting this young man. Thank you so much. It means so much to
Yes,
us.
it
Your
does.
comments on social media and so forth, it just inspires them, and then it inspires the family.
Yes, it does.
And we want to say big ups to you, and good luck for the
Thank you.
for the games coming up now. You've been called up. I think that tournament starts the 7th of
Yes,
July or
yes.
something like that. So you're going into camp Monday,
Sunday.
Yes.
Yes.
So they're going to camp Sunday. We pray all the best and thank you once more for taking time out, man, to come to us, our celebrity, our guy.
Come on, big
Man.
name player.
You saw it on the Inside Show, In Your Fields with the Unc. Please subscribe, share this this program as well, so that we can give positivity out there to a world that is negative at the moment, and we in this great pandemic. But there's things happening, and the Lord is on our side. You keep safe, and God bless you. See you next time.
Amen. God bless.